Today, we are talking about transmuting, transforming, working with this experience that we call fear. This is a big theme this month as we head into March. We are quickly approaching Spring Equinox here in about a week as of the date this video is published, or a couple of weeks. And this is a time when we are headed into rebirth season. We can feel the energy building around us in our environment through the plants as things start to warm up and little sprouts start coming out from the ground and we see it in the trees. And we also feel it within ourselves, as the old Hermetic axiom says, as above, so below, as without, so within. That basically means that what we're experiencing on the macrocosm outside of us, we're experiencing in the microcosm within us. So this is a wonderful time to look at how we can transmute this experience of all these sensations that come along with feeling rebirth coming. By the end of this video, you are going to have a new 6-step process that is going to help you embrace this experience that you're calling fear. That's going to help you transmute it into something that you can work with in your relationships with those that you are closest with, and help you live the life that you are here to live. Hi, my name is Courtney Rose, and for just about a decade now, I have helped thousands of people have spiritually transformative experiences, get closer to who they truly are, and bring that into the rest of their life, into their closest relationships, and their marriages, and their friendships, in their workplaces, in their communities, and really be the change that they want to see in the world. Okay, so here's a personal story. Around 6 years ago, when my husband and I were living in Jamaica, running an international retreat center where people would come in from all over the world to have spiritually transformative experiences and change their lives, I started getting this calling, this desire bubbling up to have another baby. At that point, we had had our son, who at the time was 4 years old, almost 4 years old. And I was feeling that desire, and it kind of came out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting it. This was during the time of when COVID just came on the scene. So March of 2020. And all of a sudden, life changed very quickly. All of a sudden, we had more time on our hands because all of our retreats were canceled overnight, that we had planned to put our full energy and attention into every day for the rest of the year, as the retreats were totally booked out for the rest of 2020. So we canceled all these retreats, and I was in this place of really feeling me again, and feeling feelings that honestly I had just been too busy, too caught up in the day-to-day tasks and goals and completion of projects and tending to all these people to really notice what I wanted. And here I was noticing, I want more family. I like my husband and my son, like these people are the most valuable, life bringing people in my life. I want more. I want to expand our family. I love our family so much. I want more of our family. And at the same time, I could feel some pretty major resistance to that, because here we were in the midst of a lot of uncertainty in March of 2020. Our full-time life and efforts and dreams were wrapped up in this retreat center that my husband and I had been working towards at that point for almost 7 years. And it was shut down, and the future was very uncertain. And we weren't sure where our income would come from, if we would be able to sustain the retreat center at that time, not knowing how long this situation would go on in the world. And we were questioning everything. And here I was wanting to add potentially more uncertainty to the equation with a baby. So I really didn't know what to do with this desire that I was experiencing of wanting another baby. At first I pushed it down. I ignored it. I didn't even want to tell Eric about it because we were in such a place of uncertainty. I thought he would look at me like, are you completely crazy? Have you lost your mind? I mean, I know we're in some pretty crazy times, but like, I thought that what I was wanting was crazy. So I didn't talk about it for a few weeks, and it kept coming. And so I took myself through this process that I'm about to share with you to help me understand, get more clear on what is it that I truly want. Is this a passing desire that if I really want to act on it, I will later regret? Or is this a desire that is authentic? Is this lasting? Is this desire bringing me closer to who I really am, what I'm here to do, who I'm here to be? And so I took myself through this 6-step process, which is step number 1, get clear on the facts. What is happening right now? Let's get clear about that. So I am having thoughts of having another child in our lives. I am experiencing myself getting visions of our family bigger. And when I get those visions, I'm feeling a lot of sensations in my body. I know that Eric has wanted a baby girl for a long time. He has 2 boys before we met, and then we had a boy together. He has 3 boys, and I know he would so love to have that experience of a daughter. And we could have a baby and it be a son, and that could potentially be pretty disappointing to him. I mean, of course, he would love the baby and like it would be our child and family member and be filled with love, but like it wouldn't be the girl. It'd be his 4th boy. And also, we are on an island, and on that island, we do not have family members here. And we do, however, have people that could help with this baby as it grows up. This could be a great place to have another baby. And some other facts. Where would I have this baby? What kind of support would I have in the delivery of this baby? The nearest hospital is an hour and a half away. And I didn't want to have a hospital birth. I wanted to have a home birth. So would I be able to find a midwife that would come to this rural part of this island where we lived and help me have this baby? And how would that logistically work? So these are all of the facts. I mean, there's many more facts, but I just went down on a piece of paper. I just threw down all the facts that weren't attached to stories as best as I could, like so that I could sort through what is the reality that is happening right now that I am experiencing without attaching emotion, without attaching stories to it. And then step number 2, I mentioned in step number 1 that I was experiencing all these sensations when I was having these visions that were coming of having a bigger family. So now step number 2 is all about the sensations. What am I feeling in my body as I'm noticing this desire come up? Well, a lot. I'm noticing my heart. It feels like there's almost like a waterfall in my heart, like a churning and an expansion in my heart. It's like there's water just flowing from my heart when I imagine having another baby. And there's also this sensation of contraction in my stomach. There is a tightness that happens, and it feels like also a churning, but this constriction as well. And I also notice my breath. Something happens with my breath as I'm imagining the scenario of having a child. It's like I notice that I'm holding my breath a little bit. And then there's also this feeling, it's almost outside of me. It's like behind me. It's like this expansion feeling, almost like a pushing forward sensation from behind me, and like a lightness from my shoulders at the same time. So those are like the top sensations that I was feeling and that I wrote down on paper to get clear about, okay, I may label these feelings as fear. There is fear there of bringing a child into the world at this time. I mean, really, there was a lot of what I was calling fear because of this perceived uncertainty of the future and how real that felt at the time in March of 2020. But there was also emotions of excitement and joy and a feeling of bliss, thinking about this love, more connection, more creation from a family that I love so much. So in order to not lump all that experience, a lot of an experience. I mean, our brain is processing something like 1 billion bits per second. And that is a lot of information to process. So we can get caught up in calling all those feelings that are happening as one thing. Like, I am afraid. I am excited. I am happy. I am good. But when we do that and we identify our essence and our being as one lumped feeling, that can create challenges when we want to transform what we're feeling into something that feels like our next level self, our next level becoming of who we're here to be. So it's important to get clear about the sensations we're experiencing versus the meaning we're making of those sensations. So that's step 2. Step 3 is writing down the what ifs, just like purging almost the fears, the potential things that we are having swirl around in our subconscious and conscious mind of the things that could go wrong, the things that we do find ourselves feeling afraid of. So at that time, I thought, I wrote down, what if, what if like we have the baby and we don't have the support we need? What if this global pandemic goes on indefinitely? I mean, what if, like, I don't know, what if I end up in the hospital and like are really affected by the pandemic? And What if, so really intentionally allotting space and time to empty that backpack of fear and like negative, draining feelings, and meaning make. It's really meaning making. It's not really feelings. It's the meaning that I'm making of the feeling of uncertainty, dumping that intentionally onto a piece of paper and letting it out so that it's not leaking out throughout my day, coming out unexpectedly in situations that are more challenging for me to navigate with it. So getting clear about all those what if negative meaning making situations going on for me. Then step 4, getting clear about the possibilities, the what could be's of this vision unfolding. Well, we could have a beautiful, beautiful baby and our lives could be so much more rich. Our son would have a sibling and peer and someone to love and someone to love him and experience that rich sibling experience of like all the things, resistance and life and love and care and just laughing and playing and so much. What could be is that this whole global pandemic situation could maybe something unexpectedly great will come of it for our family. Who knows where it will lead us? Maybe somehow, some way it will improve our retreat center, improve our lives. I couldn't really see or put down on paper how that could happen at the time, but it actually did in a big way for us. And it could strengthen our marriage. We are really, Eric and I love each other so much. And how amazing to bring another baby into the world to share, just to share life with. It could be wonderful. We could, my parents would just be so overjoyed to have another grandchild and to love on and share life with. So writing down, really intentionally getting clear on the what could be's, the possibilities. And from that place, now that I'm clear on the what ifs, I've emptied my backpack of the different scenarios. It doesn't feel like when we do this, we allow ourselves to take what's happening all right here in this space in our head, which tends to be the hottest, holistically speaking, place in our body where we just store so much to the point where we can get headaches. We can just feel really drained at the end of the day because we're not moving that energy out from our head. So it's really important that we do that when we find ourselves in a place of feeling a lot and feeling like we're unable to make a clear decision when we're feeling a lot. So emptying those thoughts, all that meaning making out onto paper. And then step 5, who is the person that I am becoming? If you've listened to some of my previous videos, you know that identity work is a big part of what I do. Looking at what am I believing and what am I believing about myself and what I am capable of? Who is the person that I am versus the person that I think I am, or that I'm unconsciously living my life based on the fact that I'm only identifying with this old self. That's really not somebody who I am at all, or a person that I want to live life as. So who is that person that I am stepping into, that I am becoming in this world? My next level self that I want to experience. What would that person do? My next level self, not the person that I used to be living life as, the person that made this choice and that choice and that choice and learned a lot from those things. And now with those lessons, I am experiencing life in this new way. Let's make choices from that place. So in this scenario, my next level self at this time, about 6 years ago, I was becoming this more embodied woman. Having my first child allowed me to experience so much more of who I am here to be. Having that experience of looking in his eyes and feeling that ancient connection was the most magical experience I had ever had at that point. And so my next level self at that point in my life felt deep in my being, like mother embodied, like woman who steps into the unknown with certainty beyond the logical thinking mind. Certainty that love knows the answer. And that was my next level identity, deep within. And that was the vision that was coming to me from the beyond over and over and over again. So it was really helpful to identify that next level identity for me at this time. Where do I want to make choices from based on what person that I am stepping into? And then finally, step 6. Step 6 is a mix of prayer and surrender. Prayer is different for everyone. And I have talked about prayer in almost every video that I have done thus far, because we're in a time where so many of us are reinventing what faith means to us uniquely. Different from what we grew up being told spirituality is, or a faith practice is, and despite what religion we might have grown up in or lack thereof, we are in such a place in our society where each of us gets to choose. We have maybe more autonomy to do so than we've ever had in written history. And so this is a really exciting time where we have so many different faith practices that we can look at and study and orient ourselves towards and feel out for ourselves what feels expansive instead of restrictive. And so step 6 is about getting to a point after we have gone through this holistic process of looking at the facts, looking at our thinking mind and its different stories, and feeling our body's wisdom and communications, and then stepping into that belief system, that next level identity that we are creating our life from, in partnership with some mysterious force that gets us waking up and breathing and our heart beating every day. And so the step 6 is now surrender, giving it to the all. And that is such an important step. Cannot be skipped. Do not skip this step. Because otherwise we're operating from this disillusioned place of thinking that it is our thinking mind that must make things happen and make decisions from that place. And that will lead us to burnout, to dissatisfaction, depression. But alternatively, when we step into showing up as consciously as we are able to in the moment, and then giving the rest to the universe, the all, God, source, however we want to term this great mystery that has created everything, that everything comes from. When we do that, when we just let that force do the rest, we make things a lot easier, a lot easier on ourselves, and show up with more ease and faith that whatever happens next, after I've consciously been through this process with all of my functions that I have, now the rest is up to the mystery. And however we uniquely choose to pray, for some people that looks like simply meditation and being with what is. For some people, that's visualization of our vision fulfilled. For some people, that is directly consciously asking the all, this mysterious, ineffable source, for guidance and support and strength. Whatever that is, just surrendering and asking if that feels right for you, to this great mystery for guidance and support. And then just let be what is. Whatever unfolds next is what unfolds next. And we get to have that mysterious adventure. So I hope all of these steps were helpful and informative for you and empowering, and give you some more tools to work with and bring into your daily life. I have made a screensaver image below that you can download and put on your phone. That's just a quick reminder of these steps, so that when you're in a place of uncertainty and you're feeling a lot, and you're feeling that feeling of fear come up, and you're feeling like, I need to make a decision, yet I feel either like I want to run, I feel paralyzed, or I want to jump into old patterns, I can look at these steps and approach this more consciously than I did the last time. So you can find that link in the show notes below. Also, if you would like to get more clear on what prayer means for you, you can watch this video next, right here, on prayer and just some of my thoughts on prayer and how I pray these days. One of the ways that I pray. And if you'd also like to get more experience in feeling what is happening in your body, getting more aware of the sensations that you're feeling in your body, so that you can show up more consciously in your relationships in a way that is empowering and connecting for you and the person that you love so much, watch this video right here, which is all about getting in touch with what's happening now. And it's even got a downloadable gifted practice in the show notes that you can bring into your very special relationship with your spouse or your partner. So I'm wishing you a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next video.